Diamonds. For many African countries, they symbolize money for school and food on the table, but they don't come without a cost. Nowadays, 99% of diamonds are certified conflict-free by the Kimberley process. But this doesn't reflect the realities on the ground. The certification gives the industry a free pass, making it look like the problems have been solved when they are far from over.
Conflict persists here between the mining company and the locals.
This is my investigation.
All right, so we get started.
Can you describe the challenges of redefining conflict diamonds? Does that term need redefining in present-day reality?
So today, the definition of conflict diamonds, according to the Kimberley process, is rough diamonds that are used by rebel movements to finance their operations that seek to overthrow legitimate governments. So this definition stems from the context in the early 2000s when we had civil wars. But today, when we indeed look at conflict or violence, we see that it's not rebel groups necessarily that are still involved. It can be government actors, it can be private actors. We see criminal organizations, we see even sometimes terrorist groups laundering money through the international diamond trade.
People are really starting to deal with basics such as getting access to clean water and food. The state of livelihood around the mines is basically no life.
There are citizens who believe that their natural wealth is not benefiting them. Good morning.
We know come bend down on there, and we treat the slave.
First and first for Pulusa we been there. I've been there to Tankoro. So then Jogo say we say the company don't kind of this country with and they can't mind. So then pull with it. Because of that, we don't see say with the strain. No way, no, they will not get option.
And we they see say we come in the way they come on, where they say we not agree, then they go take them, then they go kill them, then they hire the police there, then they come and they kill. Now 7 years this war, then a court we write they not they give we, then they see we write they not they give we.
Ukana no good road, no good water. They not giving no good facility in our hospital, no they drinking water, no they now so they can't left with Naya. In fact, me where they can't with me.
They are blasting indiscriminately, and the cause of the blasting destroyed our houses.
This is not just the issue of one country. This is a global issue.
Wale na kwena o nka ga go ngwa khumisho ka mo e ka ba le go le heme yang hampe jina o ka ngana go ngwa le heme o ka kwa o nyakelwa fela ntse o tshela mathe ka bohlatse e ka feteletsa mositsi tsa batho ba bang
Ke tshilafala le metsi go tshilafatsa metsi.
I am a lawyer. I work for MCDF, Maluti Community Development Forum.
You are the right person for me to ask this question. Basically, is the reality of diamond mining in Lesotho as shiny as your marketing is?
Oh, it's certainly not conflict-free diamond zone. Given a high level of human rights violations and environmental rights violations, we carried out the tests in collaboration with National University of Lesotho, and then the results came out positive to say there was a lot of nitrate as a water content from the water that was coming out.
The people in the villages have expressed their concerns over how the contaminated water affects their animals. And I need to highlight that the issue of animal farming is very important for the communities because the terrain there does not allow them to plow. This means that they don't have any other alternative source or means of livelihood.
Re bolaetse dintho e tšhentšha metsi ana a fetoga ba letswai dintho tse ntse ngata tseo pelaelo ya rona e leng hore ho kula hona re ho bakelwa ke ho nwa metsi ana mona ha ho letho la metsi re nwa ona metsi ona ao anu ke mo ke ona metsi re a nwang.
Kumanya kumanya maneme tuto kumwa manya to
ni miabini to basomba kukavu bwalu bujuko bwane batumbushi.
Les artisanaux, ils ont des problèmes. Leur condition est tellement précaire.
Mtu akusomba chana mtu bele mtu mwambongo na ngutu bwele kwitu wane batumbula mbongo kwitu ikituya ufuta mfanga bwa kubwele sentir futa mfanga ku payage muji hambelwa gitumbula na shabu kwitu wane ba wongo to gitumbula wabosuji kwenza muji omukola bakwa bamba kachimwetu batwiba bakwa bafwa bakwa bachubuka bashala balemba kwitu tutumbula batwelambilu bablondo batukwata bakatushya mu buloko.
None of these issues are addressed by the Kimberley process, with consequences sometimes becoming dramatic.
In the past, I think 5 years now, we have seen at least 3 major incidents with tailing dam breaches of large-scale mines. So tailing dams are basically where a mine stores its waste material. When these accidents happen, the impact is devastating. We've seen that in Congo, and the Congolese authorities reported at least 12 people had died. We've seen it in Tanzania as well, where at the Williamson mine, we had a major breakage of a wall of a tailing dam that led to a massive mudflow and destroyed lots of houses and farmland of locals. So these, I think, are very important challenges that need to be addressed.
What makes the whole situation complicated is that for every person saying one thing, there's someone else saying the opposite.
Hello, Mr. Ba.
When it comes to the subnational payments that these communities are receiving, if you compound them, trust me, they're receiving so much.
Any movement wouldn't take me on and not give me.
They have what is referred to as annual surface rent payment that these companies pay, including even the artisanal miners. The next payment they do is for crop compensation. If they affect your land, they make payments on the destruction of your crops. Added to that is the community development fund. Now, bringing all of those, if you compound them, it makes so much so much major impact into those communities.
For a long time, the mining industry has been viewed by many governments as an opportunity to increase financial resources, but it often came with an understanding to look the other way and not regulate that industry to the level that's absolutely needed.
Re netefaletsa setjhaba hore re ntse re nka methati yohle tshwanelang hore e nkwe, mme ka nnete mona mo re teng re kgotsofetse hore ditaba tsohle tseo tsa polokeho tse amanang le taba tsa matamo ha e tlose taba eno ntate hore e ne ka tshosa mang le mang eo e ka nnang ya ba haufi le, empa ka nnete re kopa re netefaletse Basotho hore tsohle tse re tshwanelang hore di etsa re ntse re di etsa, mme ka nnete ke kopa Basotho ba kgone matshwafo hore taba ena tlasa taolo ntate.
What is unique in the diamond trade, in my view, is the fact that the industry doesn't recognize the existence of these challenges. They are very concerned with marketing diamonds as based on emotional values, as a product that represents love and beauty. And so they are very afraid of anything negative that could be associated with diamonds. Meaning that if they giving too much attention to these challenges that still exist, they see it as a risk to undermine consumer confidence.
What are the possible solutions with all this conflict between the mining company and the people?
I believe there is a communication gap, and a lot of sensitization has to take place to ensure that the communities know where those monies are coming from, how much money is coming for those communities within a particular period.
C'est question de créer un dialogue multipartite. Lorsqu'on se retrouve autour d'une table entre société civile, autorités politico-administratives, le secteur de mine, on est ensemble, on peut discuter, on va trouver toujours des idées pour que le diamant que nous avons, le mine que nous avons, ne puisse pas profiter aux autres.
What we really need is strong laws that set agreed upon terms for all companies in a region to follow and to meet with consequences if they don't. But we know there's not a country in the world right now with laws sufficient to prevent significant harm where mining happens.
There needs to be some work on the legislation so that the mining companies are put to be transparent and account to the people and clearly account to government.
We can also try to isolate diamonds that are associated with bad actors, or essentially try to isolate the bad actors. So I think that is the most important effort that is needed, investing even more in transparency and traceability. We need to get these stories out. We need to get independent monitoring of these situations in order to bring them to the attention of policymakers on an international level that are today not really looking at diamond governance anymore, because they have the assumption that the Kimberley process is there and the Kimberley process is taking care of diamond governance. But in practice, the Kimberley process is today not performing its job very well. And so we need either other initiatives to fill the gaps that the Kimberley process leaves, or we need more pressure for the Kimberley process to reform. And we will only get that when we get more transparency on the problems that exist today.
IRMA is fundamentally about equal governance. When a mine is being measured against the IRMA standard for responsible mining, they start with a self-assessment, but it doesn't end there. We require that those audits are publicly noticed, and that's not just the mining company getting the word out, but auditors are actively reaching out to community members, workers, NGOs, and seeking their input on the performance of the site. So you have a really robust report, which you have some confidence that it tells a story which is full and true for the different perspectives of people most affected by that site. And we hope to be a market-driven permission slip for those laws to strengthen, and also a way to create consistency around the world.
Unfortunately today, there are no diamond mines that have been audited by the IRMA because diamond companies seem to be quite reluctant or hesitant. We should probably ask them why, but if I can try to put myself in their minds, I think they are afraid of the transparency that this scheme offers.
The community must regroup and find a solution and demand a solution from the political elites. The diamond resource belongs to our people. They own it. However, they don't have the financial muscle to extract it, to exploit it out of the ground. You, mining giants, as you exploit our valuable resource, note that our people are very much dependent on you. Don't disregard their human and environmental rights.
Surely a way should be found to ensure that all the parties involved benefit from this natural wealth, and managing the resources to be able to trickle down to those who should benefit from them is very much important for all. We as media and journalists also have an important role to play. If we don't talk about it, if we don't expose it, nothing will change. So I'm taking the first step, but that alone is not enough. Are you ready to play your own part?